Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Hundreds of Mango passengers were left stranded after the low-cost airline was barred from using airports belonging to the airports company of South Africa, Countrywide, today. So the shock move was due to Mango's failure to pay for airport fees. The airline is said to owe ACSA a massive 250 million rand for airport landing and parking fees. SABC's Vanessa Poonah is at the Cape Town International Airport for us this evening. A very good evening to Vanessa. Thanks indeed for your time. So, Vanessa, what is the situation there? I know quite a number of people have been left stranded this afternoon. Is there any clarity there? I know the situation seems to have been resolved, but this was to a massive inconvenience.
Griselda, yes, good evening to you. And at this point, I can tell you that at least the check-in counter, as well as the ticket sales offices of Mango here at the Cape Town International Airport are largely deserted at this hour. I'll step out of shot for just a second so that you can see, of course, behind me, that's the check-in counter for Mango Airlines. And since the time we've arrived here this afternoon, Griselda, I can tell you that there's not been a single person, either from Mango staff or potential passengers at these counters. Of course, that would come in the wake of ACSA's decision to suspend Mango flights today. We do understand from a memorandum, or rather a communication we've received from ACSA a short while ago, that of course the suspension has now been lifted. This follows negotiations between the parties whereby Mango has now made a partial payment, of course with the understanding that the remaining fees will be paid at a later stage. I can also tell you that according to ACSA, it says that the manner in which they've dealt with this matter and the business relationship with Mango is similar and consistent with their approach to all other airlines. And of course, this decision then having been taken today. At the moment, I wish I could speak to some of the passengers that were affected earlier, but of course, when the time we got here, Griselda, not one single passenger or even Mango staff members. And we expect that operations will resume tomorrow. That, of course, coming through on various social media platforms, that operations are due to restart again tomorrow.
I'm sure many of those passengers who were affected had earlier on tried to make alternative arrangements to get to their destinations, Vanessa. But is there any indication or a further statement that has been issued? I saw the statement issued by ACSA, but from Mango, giving assurance to perhaps those who will be waking up as early as 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock this morning when some of these first flights go out from some of these, fly out from these airports, that there will be no interruptions.
Griselda, I have not seen a statement to that effect. And as a matter of fact, just a short while ago, a gentleman came up to us, our team standing here, asking us what's happening with Mango. He said that he has somebody that was due to travel to Cape Town today on a Mango flight, and him asking us for information regarding whether those flights will resume, whether she will then be able to be booked on the same time slot. Of course, these are questions that various passengers would have at this stage. Now, behind me on the signboards here, there is, of course, a number urging people to call that number. It's an 086 100 1234 number, which Mango has up on its boards here for people and those passengers that will be flying around the country planning to make those trips. They can call that number for more information, but I have not seen any further statement in this regard.
So, Vanessa, have we heard any word perhaps on whether if there will be any more delays pertaining to this? We've only seen, of course, as you indicated, that statement from ACSA. But usually in instances like this, whenever there is an inconvenience with one of the airlines, you'd find passengers being accommodated on other airlines. Is there any indication from Mango about why this was not done? Because I also understand here at Tambo International Airport, where we'll be crossing live to very shortly, you had quite a number of irate passengers there who even tried to enter the premises of Mango at the airport here in Johannesburg.
No, Griselda, I haven't seen anything to that effect, and I haven't heard of any further statements made with regards to passengers that could possibly have been accommodated on alternative flights. I mean, just when I look to my right over here, of course, the check-in counters to my right is that of Qatar Airlines. And of course, if I can just show you, if I can ask Clinton Surf, my colleague, just to show you, of course, you'll see that's quite busy, people waiting in line there. We haven't seen any major queues or people waiting at other check-in counters counters. So I would suppose, Griselda, that as news broke earlier today about the fact that Mango has been suspended, that ACSA has suspended their flights, people would have, through various forms and means, social media being one of them, then learnt that they would be inconvenienced. I can't say whether there would not have been queues earlier on because we arrived here late afternoon, but certainly from the time that we got here, we haven't seen anything to that effect. And at this point, difficult to then confirm because ACSA Communications here in Cape Town sent through the statement to us, but did indicate that they would not be available for an interview. So it's very difficult at this stage, Griselda, from where I stand to gauge what the situation could and possibly would have looked like earlier today.
Vanessa, I think we'll continue with this interview. As I indicated, we'll cross to OR Tambo International Airport very shortly, where our colleague Nosipho Mncube is. We're just trying to get all of that set up in just a bit of a moment at the moment. But has anyone at the airport from the other airlines maybe given you a sense of what had taken place there a bit earlier on?
No, Griselda. Actually, when I spoke to some of the people waiting here in queues, some of the other passengers, it's been very difficult to get some comment. I mean, I spoke to a couple over here a short while ago saying that they were just waiting for other people and that they had indeed heard that there has been issues with Mango, actually once again asking us exactly what those issues were. So it seems as though people are sort of going about their business in their own way. Many travellers we've seen taking these international flights at Qatar's check-in counter. Of course, we've also seen quite a few people waiting to go through to the boarding gates. Not too many at this stage, I must tell you. But I can say that it's rather quiet here at Cape Town International Airport. Of course, you would know that we haven't really seen the numbers again that we've seen coming through in previous years, obviously after the COVID-19 lockdowns and, of course, still much restriction on travel to various parts of the world at this point in time. So, yes, it's rather quiet here at the airport this evening.
Yeah.
And with regards to those Mango customers and passengers, I would assume that they would have made alternative arrangements today.
Vanessa Poonah, thank you very much indeed from Cape Town International Airport. Inconvenience there, quite a number of passengers a bit earlier on.